The deeper version of Reiki is to work with the energy directly, intuitively, psychically. And in order to do that, there's no rules and regulations. Namaste and greetings and welcome to my YouTube channel, Healing the Planet from Within. My name is Carmen Santosha, and look, I'm in India here for the year, and I'm really excited to talk to you about the watered down version of different practices such as yoga and Reiki. Now in this video, I'm specifically pointing out the watered down version of Reiki because I want you to come and learn with me. But let's look at the watered down version of practices. For instance, here in India, it's very well known that the Western world only has the watered down version of yoga. For instance, yoga teachers in the Western world only need to do a month yoga teacher training. The teachers that I had in Rishikesh when I was doing my Kundalini yoga teacher training in 2019, they had at least 2 years of training. Okay, so there's a level of depth of yoga that we're unaware of in the Western world, but we can even take it deeper than that. I've been reading books here in India, and there are books that are not known in the Western world or seen in the Western world, and some of them luckily have been translated into English. And the one I was reading the other day was just mind-blowing because they were talking about yogis, people who practice yoga. And yoga in this context is so much deeper than just meditation, asanas, pranayama, so much deeper. In fact, it goes so deep, it's even talking about siddhis and superpowers and the path to enlightenment. So our watered down version of yoga in the West is only a small portion of what's actually the practice of yoga. But of course, we can start with the watered down version. Now, this is the same. It's just the same with Reiki. So I've been a Reiki Master teacher for over 20 years now. And I can tell you that the practice of Reiki keeps getting deeper. It keeps deepening for you if you are dedicated to the practice. Now, Reiki is more than just hands-on healing, right? And if you have the more authentic version of Reiki, if you've learned the more authentic version of Reiki, you would know this. The Mikao Usui was focused on personal development, spiritual development first and foremost, and the side effects are the ability to do the energy healing. Now, everybody is on a different level of evolution or progress, development, different level of personal development, spiritual development. But first and foremost, it's about this personal development, this spiritual development that'll take you deeper into your own self-study. Now, I'm here in Tirunamalai in Tamil Nadu in India, and next to Ramana Ashram, which Ramana Maharishi is a jnana yogi, which is the practice of self-study. Who am I? Who are we in this world, in this reality, and the level of depth of being who we are, which is God. And the idea is to get to become God realized. And that is the practice of deepening. So let me give you another example. I was just thinking about this. Okay, in the Western world, for instance, we have books like this one, Life Loves You by Louise Hay. And this is lovely. It's really helpful. It's really inspiring. It'll teach you that, yes, you can be in this higher vibration of love energy at the simplest level, okay? But here in India, we have books like Enlightenment, which has another level of depth of knowledge. How to avoid the watered down version of Reiki. So how to avoid the watered down version of Reiki. There are a few key elements that will tell you whether the practitioner has a deeper level of, or whether your Reiki master teacher has a deeper level of understanding of the Reiki energy. First, and I was talking about this with someone this morning actually, if your version of Reiki is telling you rules and regulations about what to do in your practice, for instance, if you have to put your hands on chakras and your fingers only pointing in one direction, rules, regulations. The deeper version of Reiki is to work with the energy directly, intuitively, psychically. And in order to do that, there's no rules and regulations. You have to be able to feel into it, tap into that inner essence, the inner God self, the Reiki light energy, and it will guide you accordingly for each client. And this is the level of depth of the Reiki that I teach. I teach you how to tap into your intuition to increase your psychic powers. Now, of course, this requires a certain level of dedication, right? For instance, if you just learn Reiki 1 over a weekend and you don't practice any of the techniques, you're not going to advance very far on your Reiki practice, are you? So the idea is that when you learn these certain techniques, that you put them into practice every day. I mean, the same is true for if you're learning how to drive a car. You know, if you get in that car one day and then the next day driving down the highway, you're not going to be very adept at driving that car. The idea is that you practice in driving in slower places, you know, perhaps the back field or down the country roads, and eventually you get into the city and the town and then the highway, and you learn all the different techniques, like looking over your left shoulder, right shoulder, depending on which country you're in, how to indicate, depending on which country you're in. There's so many different road rules accordingly. So it's the same with Reiki. You can learn the basics in Reiki level 1. You can learn where to put your hands on chakras. You can learn how to scan the body. You can learn how to tap into your intuition and feel the energies directly. You can learn this in a weekend program, but if you're not practicing every day, you're not going to get very far. Like, that's all you know, right? You just are. And then a lot of people don't have the confidence in Reiki that they really want to have. And then, of course, you can go into Reiki level 2 thinking, wow, I'm going to get a Reiki 2 certificate, but you're still not building your relationship with Reiki. Now, there's a lot of issues that come up with Reiki level 2 practitioners that I've come across. They're not confident at the Reiki level 1. And at Reiki level 2, they haven't learned the Koto Dhamma, or the spirit sounds of symbols. And some of them are actually using different symbols as well. Like, there's many different Reiki symbols in the world. But the symbols themselves were not meant to be used as a crutch. They're meant to teach you how to activate the energy within yourself. And once you know how to do that, you don't use the symbols at all. You don't even need the Koto Dhamma. You just feel the energy. It's just like you're turning it on like a light switch, but without the switch. So you can walk into a room in a building and the energies are already inside of you. They're already turned on. Now, this is not the watered down version of Reiki. I'm telling you how to avoid the watered down version of Reiki. And I want to take you deeper into your Reiki practice. So if you're really, really curious about learning the depth of Reiki and energy healing, I think it's time for you to step up and learn this. There's not many people around the world practicing this or teaching this. Now, the reason is because Reiki has been so watered down for many years that even Reiki masters don't know how to clear the energies of a room after a session. They don't know how to raise their own level of vibration. They don't know how to change their own thought patterns from negative to positive, or even look at the thoughts. Most people are in so much denial about the negative patterns they've carried from their family lineage that they don't even know how to transform it into this present and heal their own physical ailments and diseases. Now, I can take you so much deeper than that because I've recently run across scientific studies done in Germany that was proving the effects of trauma on psyche, the brain, and the organs. And in order to reframe that trauma, actually heals the physical body. So this is what we're doing in Reiki. This is the whole package of Reiki energy healing goes to a certain level of depth. There's many people out there who don't really understand the level of depth of practices that are out there, and they're just misusing it. They're throwing a name on their energy healing, but they're not actually in the level of depth of practice that's required, you know. But also everyone's on a different evolution. It takes many, many years of dedicated focus and practice in order to become aware of the patterns that you have in your matrix, in your template. So, you know, we think about it this way: if someone is being critical and judgmental and projecting that onto any of you as an energy healer, if you're really feeling the calling, you will receive this. If anyone's projecting criticism and judgment towards you, then you know that they're in their box. They're in their little box of ego, of judging someone. But your spiritual progress is between you and the God source only. And I think that's really important to keep that focus. Guys, there's so much information I want to share with you on how to avoid the watered down version of Reiki. There is so much information. I would like to take you to the next level. My Reiki program, I really, really want you to come on board with me. Now, if you just want to do Reiki 1 and test the waters, that's completely fine. But if you're feeling the calling, and I know you do, then come on board my Reiki Master training program, where we work together for 3 months, deepening your psychic abilities, your intuitive powers, and you can learn how to heal yourself, but also just step up into increasing your own conscious awareness. And this changes you for lifetimes. This is a gift that you give yourself that you can carry on for the rest of the lifetimes that you're incarnated here on the planet. And that is such an amazing gift to give to yourself. There's no putting any monetary value on that because it's just unlimited potential, unlimited potential. So, but I'm really grateful to connect with you here on YouTube. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you here. And please have a look around at some of my other videos. You'll notice that through my journey, even on here on YouTube, that I've changed. My spiritual development, my personal development has deepened, especially now that I'm here in India. It's deepening. You can even see I've changed my look. I'm you know, wearing different clothes. It's all because I'm really dedicated to deepening my journey to sitting in sacred places of samadhi, jiva samadhi, and other samadhi places, and really feeling that energy vibration and turning it on within my energies. And boy, I would love to. Anyways, okay, I could talk for a very long time, but I'm very glad you're here with me. So how to avoid the watered down version of Reiki is to look for people who have rules and regulations around Reiki. And if they have these rules about it should be done this way, it should be done that way, it should be done this way, you know that they're not deepening into their intuition, into their psychic power, and working directly with the Reiki energy. So, you know, search for someone else who can really feel the power of Reiki within them. So, okay, thank you so much for watching. Namaste. Hey, here I am in India right now, and I'd really appreciate you to come on my journey with me. Click down here, the subscribe button. That would be super great. Thank you so much. And then wander over here and click the comment. Make a comment, click the bell button, and follow me on this journey. Come on my journey with me. Let's deepen our spiritual journey together. You can see I've done this short hair. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Namaste.